With a 19mm socket, remove all these plastic nuts that hold on your hubcap, if you have this. Remove the hubcap, and then with a 19mm socket, remove all 5 of your lug nuts, and then take the wheel off. Next, I want to remove this nut. Because it's in such poor condition, I'm going to try and heat it up first to hopefully give it the best chance it has to coming loose. But be careful when you heat up things right next to the strut, because this is a pressurized strut here, so you don't want to heat up the strut too much. I'm trying to focus on heating up the nut itself. Okay, let's get an 18mm socket on there. Try to take this nut off, or at least break it free. It's not off, but it did break free. So the next thing I want to do is use some locking pliers on the back side here. Now, this is most likely going to ruin the boot, but I always recommend doing sway bar links when they're in this condition if you have to replace the struts. Get these as tight as possible. Let's try again. All right, that did the trick. Now with the other side of the sway bar disconnected, I can move it up and down as needed, and I can get my 18mm socket on the bottom here. Let's try the same thing. I'll try to break it free first, and then I'll probably have to heat it up and put some locking pliers on the back. I want to be careful how I direct my heat, because I don't want to melt wires or hoses. Nope. Well, unfortunately, one of the only options I have left at this point is to cut the nut, and you can use a cutoff wheel. I'm just going to go ahead and use a torch and just torch it off. Take your new sway bar link, slide it through. As you can see, I put some anti-seize on the threads. I like to coat the threads of sway bar links with anti-seize. That way, hopefully, it makes it, well, not do this in the future. Now I'm going to slide underneath with my 18mm socket, and you can use a 17mm wrench to hold this stud in place as you tighten. Make it nice and snug. I can't get a torque wrench in here to accurately tighten it, so I'm just going to go for tight. And now you'd want to do the same to the other side so we can lower the sway bar. Take your sway bar link, slide it through the strut, put the nut on, bottom it out, and the torque is 48 foot-pounds. I'm most likely already there, but I'm going to torque it anyway. And there you have it. Let's get the wheel back on. Start on all 5 of your lug nuts, bottom them out, and torque them to 100 foot-pounds. Grab your hubcap, if you have one, and line it up with the valve stem. There's a hole here for it, otherwise the valve stem will get crushed and probably this won't even line up. So go ahead and line that up, and then thread in the little caps. This is what holds on your hubcap. And I prefer doing these by hand, because if you over tighten them, which is very easy to do with a power tool, then they just strip out and then your hubcap goes flying off while you're driving, which is not great. So make those nice and snug by hand and take it for a road test.